Getting it ready. Hey, how's everybody doing? Hey. Getting everything set up. Kind of move a little slow. Hold on. Trying to test the speed of this webcast. All right. So, welcome to Hollywood Accounting on 11/19. We are officially 2 weeks out. We are officially 2 weeks out from DreamCon. DreamCon is on my head. CPA Con. I just had a DreamCon call, so that's why it's on the top of my head. 2 weeks out from CPA Con, and hello. Let me see. They're not showing me who sent the message, so let me hop into LinkedIn. Let's see who said hello. Dan, what's up, man? What's up? How you doing? Okay, so like I said, 2 weeks out from DreamCon. I did it again. I'm gonna have to get myself committed. This is crazy. 2 weeks out from CPA Con. This is how entrenched I am in the weeds with this. But 2 weeks out from CPA Con, and we're about to start sending out some stuff. I know it's been a while, but with first time events like this, things change, things move, things shape. And the good thing though is that through the beautiful and I guess the saint-like efforts of some companies. I'm gonna shout out Kaiser Permanente being one of them. They've sponsored free student tickets. So basically, all students are free. So that's a great thing. So if you were a student and you saw the $75 ticket to enter into CPA Con, you don't have to worry about that. It's covered. It's paid for. All you gotta do is show up. Well, technically sign up first for sure. Sign up. So you can sign up on CPA Con, the CPACon.com or Cal CPA's page. They're gonna update that soon for everybody, and so we're gonna get that word out some more. So if you are a student or students who are interested, please make sure to let them know that it is all free. In addition to that, we're reducing the cost for professionals. We really want to just be able to show everybody how great this event is. So we're reducing, the cost. It was originally $400. It was $300 if you did the early bird. So, I was, being nice. So we're going to reduce that to $100. If you've already paid, you're going to get a refund of the difference. And this is again by the blessings of sponsors, who are, taking, kind of paying for that stuff, sponsoring those tickets. So we're able to do free tickets for students and a very, very reduced rate for, for other non-students, professionals, stuff like that. And again, the location is changed from the Shrine to Fearless LA. It's downtown. It's not too far away. It's literally right around the corner from the convention center. It's a nice, cool LED stage. It's cool. So I say all that to say, we got some, some changes. We got some shakeups. All good shakeups though. Again, I think we're gonna have some. I think we're gonna have some fun, in my personal opinion. Uh, and we are changing one of the games too. But that's you'll see that going soon. If you are interested in still being a participant in the games, you can definitely still sign up for that. We're cutting it off at the end of this week, and then we're going to create the teams. So yeah, just come out, have fun, and enjoy. But I'd be remiss not to start with the games of the day. Hey, appreciate you, man. Let them know. Let the world know it's free. Okay. Let them know that I understand their plague. I understand, and so we did what we can do to make it free for everybody, for the students. Professionals, I got buck up. Okie doke. So we're going to play our game today, but then we're also going to play. And talk about something I saw, something I posted too. So we're going to talk about the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight. I made a post about the fact that that was a lot of money that was made, and I got some comments about it's not just about the money. So we're going to talk about that. And then I saw this thing on Instagram about the music industry that I want us to talk about too. So let me share my screen. I was going to talk about maybe we'll talk about that next week when he's finished. But I was going to talk about Kai and his Mafia-thon 24-hour full month stream. All right. Let me share my screen. All right. Playing Tango, into it. They had a Tango not too long ago, like maybe it was like the day before. It was hard. I ain't gonna lie. It had me stuck for a few minutes, or at least my brain wasn't really working that day. Because it was not easy. But we're gonna keep going. We're gonna get into it. And how I like to focus when I'm doing this. All right, trying to get the best time. Boom. All right, 53 seconds. How we do? See, on the phone, but they don't show it here. So I don't know. Usually it's like you've done better than 75% of all these CEOs who on LinkedIn, all this stuff like that, but they don't have it here. So sucks. Well, 53 seconds. I'm pretty sure that's above the average. All right, let's go to Queens. And yeah, if you guys don't, I'm gonna talk as to why I'm playing this game soon. I'll do this every time, but it's for a purpose, for a good purpose. Boom. 58 seconds. Yep, LinkedIn has games. So if you're on your phone, I think you can go to like my network. So you click my network, you'll be able to see it there for anybody who wants to play these games. So they got like 4 different games. So they got uh, Queens, that I just played. Tango was the game before, and then there's 2 word games. One is called Cross Climb, and the other is called Pinpoint. And basically, they do games because through their research, they figured out that the best way for like retention and for teams to build camaraderie and all that good stuff is through shared experiences, playing games, competition, all that good stuff. And so that's why it makes sense for LinkedIn, in their opinion, to add games. And I'm probably one of the biggest proponents, for LinkedIn, in these games. So they gonna have to come up off some bread, man, because I'm basically putting them on my back. Put them on my back. And honestly, the more I've done this, the more connections that are connected, have been playing. So if y'all been paying attention, this number has been going up. More people have been playing this game. And I ain't gonna say that's because of me, but I ain't gonna say it's not because of me. All right. So just let Little LinkedIn know right now that that they wanted to share the love on and just show that appreciation. I'm here for that. So that's that. Let me get to the post. All right, moving on to the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight. So as y'all know, I'm the entertainment CPA, right? So obviously anything entertainment, I'm going to be talking about and focused on. And my wife Jackie is a huge, sports athlete person. So she was watching the game, the game. She made sure that she was like, look, make sure the fight is good and is on, and so I'm like, all right, good, because even Netflix been tripping. It's been like really, really on with like cracking down on people like sharing passwords and stuff. And so it's like every single time we try to log in, we gotta like log in again. So it's just kind of crazy. But I'm beside the point. Let me scroll down. I'm finding the post right now. And so if y'all got comments, I would love to hear y'all comments. But I'm about to just pull up the post. I bet. Here it is. Boom. All right, I don't know if y'all can really read this. Should do that. All right, whatever. I'll read it. So basically, the fight was, almost 4 hours, I guess, because they had different fights with everything. I had people who started, before. So I think it was about 3 fights before them. It was a huge production. And I took the time to kind of just look at. I was, when I was watching it, I couldn't help but I'm like, oh, look at that. The ring was, had the names of companies that were sponsored and stuff like that. Again, which is something that I do for other companies, and so I just can't help but to point that out when I'm looking at other things. Like, oh, that's a cool way that they did that. I've never done a boxing match before, so I never done like that type of event. But seeing that they put it on the ropes, they obviously put it on the center of the stage, and everything. You can see how it looks. I'll play this, and I put this video on Sup the Money Man. I'm like, there can be more than one Money Man. I ain't holding to that name because it's more of a mantra. The Money Man mantra, the Money Man moves. So he definitely did some Money Man moves with this play. And so let's talk about it. So again, you might not be able to see the full thing, but in a first big payout is the fact that the fighter purchase. So for every game, for every boxing match, both people get paid. In most cases, they get paid. They take away some money, right? So Jake Paul got 40, Mike Tyson got 20. So even right there would have been solid. But then you move to the next thing where you understand that Netflix pay for this production. So I'm assuming, again, I don't know the deal, what happened or how they did it, but usually how this stuff works is Netflix, buys the production. So some type of way, shape, form, or fashion, Netflix is putting up the money to host this. Maybe they gave Jake Paul and the team a certain amount of money, or maybe Netflix took it over and was like, we'll have our team, create everything, book the venue, book the talent, because they had a lot of talent from their own shows at the event, kind of integrating them there, booking the just the programming, like the fights and everything. So depending on how they did that, Netflix owns this thing on their website, also on their streaming platform, and clearly they get their streaming revenue from that. Obviously, this is a subscription, and I'm pretty sure some people probably did pay specifically, to watch this. Maybe they started, their subscription to watch it. But in the past with these type of pay per view fights, they would you would have to pay a separate fee, like $60, $80, $90 to actually watch the game or watch the fight and everything. I remember back in college when we had to, we did like fight watch like parties and stuff, and everybody kind of had a divvy in to cover the fee for getting the game or the fight, and then some food, cover the food and everything. So I remember that, going, but now it's part of the subscription for Netflix. And obviously, they had 120 million viewers, at least is what he said in this video. So that's the number I use. Moving on, the gate revenue. So like at the stadium itself, so you want it to be in person. This is the statistics that I found online, but it's like over 70,000 fans were in the AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. 17.8 million in gate revenue, which was a record. In addition, like I mentioned, the sponsorships and advertising that I saw throughout, then the merchandising as well. They had merch for the event. So, and it was also on the Netflix store. So look, they made money in like all the ways that they can. I'm sure even you can even go further into all of these things and talk about how other more specific ways that they made money, specifically like in the ticketing revenue, right? The 17.8 is made up of people who sat in the front, people who sat in the back. There was like an the off the side of the ring type of VIP area as well. That was kind of cool. I'm sure people paid an arm and a leg for that. So it's just a great lesson in all the types of things that you can do when you have an event, all the ways that you can make money. And I'm sure this isn't even all of the ways. But it's just really cool to look at. So I posted it talking about the different ways that they made money, and a couple of my colleagues was just like subpar product. So David Leary over at Earmark is like, they deliver a subpar product, and that they doubt that people would devote that much time going forward. My guy Seth was just like, he had a very expensive sparring partner and lifetime memory as well. And then the other one seems like this was a script from professional wrestling. However, a great moneymaker. So I agree. I think that as a, like I said, a huge former WWF and WWE fan, I ain't mad at, the storyline and how they made this to be and everything like that. I do think that to David's point, will this be, you did this once and you were able to get it off and hit all these records, but now you have this reputation that you're going to be providing potentially a subpar event. And most people are calling it a subpar event specifically because the fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson was a little underwhelming in the sense that nobody got knocked out. It seemed like, at first, the first couple rounds, Mike Tyson was going in, and it was just a really good marketing leading up to it. But it felt like either Mike Tyson is just really old and it's just like he ain't what he used to be, and it just wasn't amusing, or he wasn't fighting as hard as he should be. And then same thing for Jake Paul. It's like when in the later rounds when it's clear that Mike Tyson was tired, and like why did he didn't like capitalize on it. And so yeah, I think it felt like, man, we just all this build up for this kind of lackluster fight. The other fights are actually pretty good. They were getting it in. They had some vendettas that they needed to that they needed to solve. So those were actually pretty good. But again, the fight that everybody came to see, that was the one that was again, the underwhelming thing. And I'll just say that this kind of goes to the thought of understanding that making money, specifically in the creator industry, Hollywood, and everything like that. A lot of creators, or a lot of um, people who built a brand, it's easy enough after building that brand to slap that brand onto something else and again get the numbers, sell the tickets and stuff like that. But you also want to make sure that you are creating that a great product, and that is going to again match the level of um, quality that you've done before. Again, it's the first one of its kind like this scope. And so I'm sure there's some stuff to figure out. And to be real, I think Jake was more so focused on making the money and not necessarily curating a solid boxing match. And so then the next event might look a little different, because he might not be able to pull the same amount of people. Nobody's probably going to want to watch that type of thing again. So that's just a thought. I'd love to hear everybody else's thoughts. Y'all want to go to the post and leave y'all thoughts in there. Happy to go back and forth with anybody on that. But I think again, it's a good way to show the money that you can make in these types of events, and just thinking outside the box, outside the ring, on certain things. So that was that. And then also I wanted to do a video about this LinkedIn post I saw. It was on Club Shay Shay podcast, and it was John Legend. So hold up. You're playing. Stop. All right, share my screen. All right, good. I don't know if y'all can hear this or not. Hey, yes. So, so I'm letting it play a little bit. But essentially, um, the conversation here, John Legend, they were talking about how he signed to Kanye, and the deal he took. I'll read the quote specifically. I signed through Kanye's production. Yeah, the undercover WWE. Um, he says, I signed through Kanye's production company. Some people would say, don't do that. You're going to give it for certain percent to Kanye. You would, um, and his rebuttal was, that he would rather have 50% of a big number than 100% of a smaller number. You just have to do the math. Its opportunity is great enough, then don't fight for the money now. You're investing in your future. I think a lot of people get this very much so confused. I think there's been a history of people, not getting what they are owed. Um, and because of that, feeling like I don't want to take no loss, and they're just thinking about that short term satisfaction and not the long term situation. And so because of that, to this point, you missed the opportunity, because John Legend is arguably a very successful, not even arguably, very successful music artist. He's even done acting, and he has companies as well, business companies, businesses, and everything. And so I think maybe he did a great job. He further goes to say, though, he brings up Drake, is that if you're able to build a buzz like Drake did, because this is the cover of Comeback Season, a mixtape. This is when I was first introduced to Drake back in, was that 2008, 2000, a while ago. But he had did, several mixtapes himself, and so that pushed up the need and the desire for labels and companies who want to sign him. And so he had a different amount of leverage at that point in time. And one of my favorite TV shows of all time is a show called Leverage. And it's that's neither here nor there. I just thought of it and it made me think of it. But it's important to have leverage when you're doing any type of deal, when you're doing any type of negotiation. You always want to understand what leverage you have. And let me just exit out of that. So you want to always understand what type of leverage you have when you're going into a deal. When you're negotiating a lease to, your, and if you're doing this for your client, if you're an accountant and you're doing this or if you're doing it for yourself, anytime you're negotiating, you want to understand what leverage you have, because that's going to ultimately determine how successful you will be and what you want to get. So being able to, you got to understand, are you willing, is this something you can say no to? Because you need to think of all of that in order to properly will and deal. Because if you can't say no to this, or you really need whatever you're making the deal for, then you are less likely to push on certain things, where sometimes maybe you need to push a little more, you have a more favorable outcome. But to his point is, John Legend at the time, he didn't do that, but he didn't have that buzz. He didn't do those mixtapes like Drake did. So he didn't have people in a bidding war for him. He realized that, again, here in the thing says 50% of millions of dollars versus 100% of thousands of dollars is a totally different thing. And he was willing to make that sacrifice of that 50% up front in order to help him grow and move forward, to build his leverage, to build his portfolio. And I say that to say that this is, something that we can bridge into even the accounting space as well. A lot of times we go, like when I was thinking when I started my accounting career, going into the Big Four, this is a lot of stuff you heard from everybody else. Is like, you don't really have much leverage at that point in time, right? You don't have a CPA. You don't have extensive relationships, yet you don't really have extensive knowledge or, just expertise. And so going into the Big Four is a very how would I say, enticing thing, because you are able to build that leverage for yourself. You're able to understand how things work. That, for me, that's what I did, right? I was at Deloitte. I understood how big companies worked. I understood how corporate worked. I understood, how to do the actual accounting and the actual job. Got my CPA. And then when I got to a point where, all right, now I'm at a space where I want to do this a little differently, then that's where I took that and went on. And now I'm gonna read Dan your question. Let me make sure that was Dan, because again, it's still not showing me who's actually making the questions up in my account. Yep, it's you, Dan. Okay, bet. So Daniel says, maybe similar to students entering public accounting with multiple offers, taking the top dollar offer at a firm with limited growth and limited exit opportunities versus a big. Yep, that's exactly what I'm saying right now. Is when you're looking at it, where the Big Four is usually, again, they're probably going to pay you the least across the board. And again, I ain't saying this right by any means. I ain't, please and trust and believe. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying this is the reality, that they have, it means something with a Big Four on your resume. It means something with a CPA at the end of your name. And so if you are coming into this space, you just have to understand that, you need a certain type of leverage to get to where you need to get to. Can you figure out like what you need to do for the short term in order to execute on the long term and make the best decisions? And by no means does not doing that path not mean that you won't be successful. You can definitely do that as well, and you can definitely be connected with people who can make that happen and get the experiences that you don't necessarily get at a Big Four either. Because I was fortunate that I got Big Four experience, but then I also went to a smaller firm and got that type of experience. as well. And so I was able to get both of those, to round out my, my experience. But um, that's the decision that a lot of students, have to make. That's a lot of decisions that even throughout your career is like, how long do you want to stay? Do you want to make it to partner? Do you want to do your own firm after a certain amount of time? Do you want to go to a different company? Do you want to go into private? Do you want to go in consulting? And so those are all decisions that you need to understand. But it's really, again, opportunity versus money it is the decision. Weighing it on the scale. What is more important at this point in time? It might be very important that you need to secure your bag. So I ain't hating on you. Make your money. For me at the time, it was the most money I had made in my life, and so it was like it didn't really feel like a sacrifice. But over time, then I started realizing, like, hold up, all right, hold on. And so it really depends on your circumstances. So just wanted to point it out. Opportunity versus the money is a thing. Definitely another way to say it is, you rather get 10% of a watermelon than 100% of a grape, right? Just that mentality. And a lot of people kind of, cut their, what they say, cut your nose to spite your face or something like that. So, just be open minded, think strategically, think on the long game, think long term. And yeah, and thank y'all for watching. We hit our time. I actually got to drive over to an interview. I'm about to hit up a podcast. So, which you guys will be seeing soon. But thank you again for tuning in. Appreciate y'all. See y'all next week, and hopefully we'll see everybody at CPA Con as well. Appreciate y'all. And yeah, they will. Let me make sure Instagram ain't have no comments because their Instagram doesn't come through. Of course. Well, if y'all was saying something on Instagram, my bad. I can yeah, I'm just to say deuces. Hey Neil, what up, man? We definitely gotta connect. All right, okay. All right, peace out, y'all. And Neil's the man. He know about this entertainment stuff. But yeah, sorry, I'm just